The quiet person's advantage. Hey Resonance, welcome back to Human Velocity X. When people ask me how I'm doing, I tell them, I'm awesome. Every day is awesome. We just have to get through it. My name still isn't important. The message still is. Before we go any further, thank you for being here, for listening, for taking a moment out of the noise to sit in something a little more real. If you ever want to stay connected or keep the conversation going beyond this space, you can find us on Facebook. Just follow the signal. No pressure, just there when you need it. And this one is dedicated to those who are called quiet, but were actually just aware. The ones who listen before they speak, who feel the room before they move, who see more than they say and carry more than they show. Today we're talking about something that a lot of people misunderstand, something the loud ones overlook, something the world can't measure because the world doesn't know how to measure silence. Today we're talking about the quiet person's advantage. People think quiet means passive. They think quiet means shy. They think quiet means uncertain, unsure, unprepared, but you and I both know quiet has never meant powerless. Quiet doesn't mean you're hiding, it means you're listening. Quiet doesn't mean you're scared, it means you're calculating. Quiet doesn't mean you're small, it means you're conserving energy until the moment matters. Quiet is not the absence of strength. Quiet is strength under control. Today we're going to explore what the world never understood about people like you. Let's get into it. Silence is not emptiness, it's processing. People see silence and assume nothing is happening. No reaction, no thought, no movement, but inside you, everything is happening. Quiet people are running full operating systems beneath a calm exterior. Your silence isn't blank, it's active. It's your mind processing faster than your voice can follow. You're rearranging the room, the logic, the energy, the emotion, the structure of what's unfolding. You take in the tone, the timing, the inconsistencies, the pauses, the body language, the micro-expressions, the shifts in energy most people never notice. You catch hesitation before it becomes obvious. You feel the room change before anyone names it. You see what was said, what wasn't said, and what almost came out but didn't, while others are still forming their next sentence. You've already mapped the entire moment. You've read the direction, you've felt the outcome. You've understood the tension before it surfaces. And because it happens so fast inside you, it looks like nothing is happening at all. But that's not emptiness. That's precision. Quiet doesn't mean empty. Quiet means processing faster than you can speak. Most people talk to discover their thoughts. You think to refine yours. And that difference, that awareness, that control, that internal clarity is not a weakness, that is the quiet advantage. Because you see the room before you enter it. Here's something most people never realize. Quiet people don't just read the room, they read ahead of it. You feel the energy before the interaction begins, before the greeting, before the handshake, before the first word is even spoken. You sense tension before words confirm it. You feel alignment before conversation proves it. You feel distrust before evidence appears. You feel warmth before connection forms. It's subtle, but it's consistent. Your body picks it up before your mind explains it. That shift in energy, that invisible current moving through the room, and by the time you step in, you already know what you're walking into. You walk into spaces with the sensitivity the world calls introverted. But that's not what it is. It's awareness with direction. It's perception with control. Quiet people aren't slow to interact, they're calculating. They're reading the emotional architecture before choosing where to stand, what to say, and how much to reveal. You don't enter blindly. You enter knowingly. That's why you rarely get blindsided. Why you rarely misjudge people. Why you rarely end up in chaos you didn't feel coming. You adjust early. You move carefully, you choose intentionally, because your awareness arrives before your presence does. And that timing, that internal positioning, that quiet precision is not hesitation. That is the quiet advantage. The art of energy conservation. Quiet people expend energy differently. You don't waste words, you don't waste reactions, you don't waste effort, you don't waste emotion where it won't be received. You learn that early. Not everything deserves your response, not everything deserves your attention, not everything deserves access to your energy. This isn't coldness, this is mastery. You realize not every battle deserves your fire, not every argument deserves your breath, not every person deserves your full emotional capacity, so you conserve. You hold back, you measure, you choose, and that choice is power. Because while others are reacting to everything, you are selecting what matters. While others are burning themselves out in every room, on every topic, in every emotional storm, you stay centered. You don't chase every conflict, you don't correct every misunderstanding, you don't engage every tension that invites you in. You let things pass that aren't worth your presence, and that restraint builds something inside you. Focus, clarity, precision. You speak when truth is needed. You act when consequences matter. You reveal when trust is earned, not before, not prematurely, not for attention. Quiet people don't lose energy through noise. They store it, they build it, they sharpen it, and over time, that energy doesn't fade, it concentrates, which is why, when you finally move, the impact is felt, because your power isn't scattered, it's directed, it lands with intention, it lands with weight. The quiet aren't weak, they're controlled, they're focused, they're charged, and that is the quiet advantage. Why quiet people make everyone else talk more? There is a strange phenomenon that happens around you. People open up, not slowly, not carefully, naturally. People confess things they've never told anyone. People share stories they didn't plan to say out loud. People explain themselves without being asked. They keep going, they go deeper, they reveal more than they expected to. And it happens again and again. Why? Because quiet creates space. And most people have never felt space in their entire lives. They're used to noise, used to interruption, used to competing to be heard. But with you, there's room. Your silence becomes a mirror. People fill with their own reflection. Your stillness becomes a room where they finally hear themselves clearly. Your presence slows them down without forcing them to. Your listening becomes a soft permission they didn't know they needed. Permission to be honest, permission to be real, permission to say the thing they've been holding in. And when people feel safe, they open. They spill secrets, they drop their guard, they let things out they didn't even realize they were carrying. And somehow, your silence feels safer than most people's words. Because you're not judging, you're not interrupting, you're not redirecting, you're holding space, and that's rare. But here's the hidden cost when everyone else talks freely. You carry everything you heard. You remember it, you feel it, you hold it. You become the keeper of other people's truths, their pain, their questions, their unfinished sentences, their unspoken fears, and it stays with you long after the conversation ends. Quiet attracts honesty. Honesty attracts weight, and you hold it gently, even when it gets heavy, even when it follows you into your own silence. This is the quiet advantage and the quiet burden, woven together. Quiet people influence rooms without saying a word. You've noticed this. You walk into a space and something shifts, not loudly, not dramatically, but noticeably. The atmosphere changes, just a little. Not because you demanded attention, but because your presence brings clarity to the noise. You don't enter rooms to control them. You enter rooms and they adjust. Quiet people influence energy by refusing to join chaos. You don't match it. You don't amplify it. You don't compete with it. You steady it. You sit in the moment without reacting to every ripple, and slowly, the water calms. People feel it, even if they can't explain it. Groups begin to shift around you. People lower their volume. People rethink their exaggerations. People check their tone. People choose their words more carefully. People soften their aggression. People hesitate before lying. People become more aware of how they're showing up, and they don't even know why. They just adjust. Because your presence sets a different standard, not through force, through consistency, through alignment, through control. You recalibrate rooms through resonance, not volume. You're quiet, regulates the emotional climate. You are the thermostat, not the thermometer. You don't reflect the room, you tune it, you shift it without needing recognition, without needing validation, without needing to explain what you're doing, and that's rare. Because chaos cannot correct itself. It needs contrast. It needs something that doesn't participate in it to stabilize it, and that is what you are. You are that contrast. The quiet force that realigns the atmosphere without ever asking for credit. That is the quiet advantage, the pain of being misunderstood. Quiet people aren't just underestimated, they're misunderstood. And it happens in small moments over and over again. Someone asks your opinion, you tell the truth clearly, calmly, and they hesitate. Not because you were wrong, but because you didn't deliver it with noise, so they assume you're uncertain. Someone asks how you feel. You answer, honestly, without breaking down, without raising your voice, and they nod like nothing's wrong. They assume you're fine because you didn't fall apart loudly. Someone tries to argue with you, they raise their voice, they push harder, they expect resistance, and you stay steady. You don't match their volume. You don't escalate the moment. You don't react the way they're used to. So they walk away thinking they won. Not realizing you simply chose not to participate. Quiet people experience a peculiar kind of injustice. The world mistakes a peaceful delivery for a weak position. It confuses calm with uncertainty. It confuses control with passivity. But that's not what's happening. You're not misunderstood because you don't communicate. You're misunderstood because you communicate with depth instead of drama. You don't perform emotion, you process it. You don't display intensity, you contain it. You don't broadcast your storms, you navigate them internally. And because of that, people don't see how much is actually there. They don't see the weight, they don't see the depth, they don't see the work you're doing inside. So you carry emotions nobody knows you have. You process pain in silence, you heal without an audience, you win battles no one witnessed in the world. Calls that quiet. But quiet does not mean you feel less. It means you feel so intensely that you learn to channel that intensity into stillness, into control, into precision, into strength that doesn't need to be seen to be real. And that is something the loudest people in the world will never understand, the quiet person's heartbreak. This part is rarely spoken but deeply known. Quiet people fall in love differently. You don't love loudly. You love deeply, softly, intimately, attentively. You study the person you love. You memorize the way they speak. You hear the tone behind their tone. You notice the details they think you missed. You carry their emotions like borrowed books. And when you love someone, you understand them more than they understand themselves. But here's the heartbreak. When that love breaks, quiet people suffer earlier and longer. Not because you're weak, but because you felt the shift before the goodbye arrived. Quiet people grieve in silence, not because you hide your pain, but because you don't perform it. And when you finally detach, it is complete. Quiet hearts break quietly, but heal with clarity. Love is not a performance for you. It's an ecosystem. And when it collapses, you feel the entire forest fall. Your silence makes people reveal themselves. There's another strange truth about quiet people. Your silence makes others honest. Not because they want to be, because they don't know what to do with it. Most people are used to noise, used to interruption, used to distraction, used to filling space before anything real can surface. But with you, there's nowhere to hide. Your calm becomes a mirror they project themselves onto. Your stillness becomes a canvas that exposes their patterns. Your pauses become pressure some people cannot sit with, so they fill it. They talk more, they explain more, they reveal more than they intended to. They tell on themselves without realizing it. Quiet people don't need to interrogate anyone. People interrogate themselves right in front of you. They try to justify, they try to explain, they try to control how they're being seen, and in doing that, they show you everything. Your presence activates conscience, your silence activates truth, because when there's no noise to hide behind, what's real starts to rise. People who have good intentions feel peaceful around you, they relax, they open, they feel safe. People who have bad intentions feel exposed, they shift, they hesitate, they become uncomfortable without knowing why. This is why certain people avoid quiet individuals, not because you scare them, but because they cannot hide in your presence. You don't chase truth, you don't force it, you don't demand it, you allow it, and that's what makes it powerful. You're quiet. It's truth's flashlight. It doesn't shout, it doesn't accuse, it simply reveals, and sometimes truth makes people uneasy. That is the quiet advantage. The power of holding your words. Quiet people don't rush into conversation. You don't jump into every argument. You don't correct every lie. You don't defend every misunderstanding, not because you can't, because you choose not to. You understand something the loud ones never learned. Words lose value when they're thrown carelessly, when they're used to fill space, to prove a point, to win attention. So you hold yours, you measure them, you refine them, you wait, not for permission, for precision. You've learned that timing matters, that delivery matters, that truth lands differently when it's placed correctly, and because of that, you don't speak often. But when you do, everything changes. People stop multitasking, people stop scrolling, people stop performing, people listen. Not out of habit, out of awareness. Because your words don't come out unfinished, they don't come out reactive, they don't come out scattered, they come out complete, grounded, focused, intentional. You've studied the moment, you've understood the pattern, you've processed the outcome. You've considered the consequences while others are still reacting. You're delivering clarity. When quiet people speak, it's not noise, it's distilled truth. It's the refined version of everything everyone else is still trying to figure out, and that's why it lands, that's why it holds, that's why it shifts the room. Quiet is not withholding. Quiet is refining. It's choosing not to waste power. It's choosing not to dilute truth. It's choosing to speak when it matters. And refined words don't need volume. They carry weight on their own. That is the quiet advantage. Let your chest loosen. Let your jaw unclench, let your shoulders settle. We're about to enter the emotional gravity beneath quietness. The truth about strength, loneliness, identity, and inner power. Quiet isn't weakness. Quiet is power. You don't have to prove. This is the part people rarely say out loud. The quietest person in the room usually has the most control. Not control over others, control over themselves. Quiet people don't crumble under emotional pressure. They don't unravel under manipulation. They don't explode when tested. They don't lose themselves in noise. Quiet people have internal boundaries loud people can't imagine. You don't react to be understood. You don't perform to be seen. You don't argue to be right. You don't place your power in someone else's hands by trying to prove it. Quiet strength is the kind of strength that sits in a room and simply exists there without needing to dominate it. It's subtle, it's steady, it's self-sustained. People misread it as softness because it doesn't roar. But quiet strength doesn't need an audience, it simply needs presence, and your presence is unmistakable even when you say nothing. The advantage of seeing what others miss. Quiet people have a secret. You're always watching the things everyone else walks past. You notice the flinch no one else registers. You hear the crack in someone's confidence. You sense the tension before anyone admits it. You catch the shift in someone's intentions. You see the whole pattern while others only see fragments. Quiet people are systems thinkers. You don't see isolated events. You see the structure holding them together. You don't hear random comments. You hear the story underneath. You don't observe behavior. You trace it back to its origin. This skill, this way of reading the world isn't luck. It's your internal calibration. It's what happens when your awareness grows roots and starts listening to everything beneath the surface. And in a world that worships volume, people forget that truth is always spoken softly. Quiet is not disengagement. Quiet is insight. The isolation of being the quiet one. Let's be honest about something. Quiet people carry a loneliness that has nothing to do with company. Your isolation doesn't come from lack of people. It comes from lack of resonance. It comes from watching others say things you've already thought through. It comes from being 10 emotional steps ahead in a world that thinks one step is enough. It comes from processing deeply when others skim the surface. People expect you to be simple because you sound simple. They expect you to be soft because you speak softly. They expect you to be detached because you don't perform emotion. The world has no idea how rich your inner world is. Quiet people are often misunderstood because nobody can see the thunderstorm happening inside the silence, and yet you You stay soft. You stay gentle. You stay observant. You stay anchored. Your quiet is not loneliness, it's depth. And depth doesn't always have company. The advantages the world never gives you credit for. Quiet people move differently, and the world benefits from it. Far more than it ever acknowledges. You are the stabilizer in conflict. You are the clarity in confusion. You are the pause between impulse and disaster. When things escalate, you slow them down. When emotions spike, you regulate the moment. When everything feels scattered, you bring structure without forcing it, and people feel that, even if they never say it. You are the one people trust with their secrets, their fears, their truth, their mess. They come to you when things are unclear. They come to you when they need grounding. They come to you when they need honesty without chaos. And even when you're overlooked, dismissed, underestimated, you're still aware. You're still seeing. You're still tracking what others miss. Because your advantage isn't that you blend in. It's not that you disappear. It's that, while the world is broadcasting, you're downloading, you're observing, you're collecting, you're understanding. Quiet people don't just absorb information. You synthesize it, you connect it, you refine it, you see patterns others don't even realize exist, and that synthesis gives you an edge no one else understands. Not flashy, not obvious, but undeniable. Because quiet doesn't win through noise. Quiet wins through accuracy, through timing, through awareness, through precision. Quiet sees, quiet understands, quiet remembers. And over time, quiet knows. And knowing, without needing to prove it, is one of the greatest advantages a person can have. That is the quiet advantage. Let your ribs soften. Let your jaw release. Let your awareness feel safe. We're about to step into the identity return, the truth beneath all this quietness. If you've spent your life being the calm one in storms, the listener in chaos, the observer when others rush, the processor when others react. If you've been underestimated because your power doesn't perform, misunderstood, because your wisdom arrives silently, dismissed, because your voice doesn't need volume. If you've held truths you didn't speak, carried emotions you didn't show, and navigated rooms without needing attention, then hear me with your whole self. You are not shy, you are not weak, you are not passive, you are not invisible. You are tuned, you are aware, you are anchored, you are focused, you are a reasonaut, a quiet navigator of human patterns, a reader of emotional geometry, a steward of resonance in a world of noise. Your silence is not emptiness, it is alignment. Your calm is not detachment, it is mastery. Your restraint is not fear, it is precision. Quiet is not small, quiet is not lesser, quiet is not lack, quiet is depth, quiet is intelligence, quiet is power under discipline, quiet is spiritual clarity. The world may never understand the strength inside your stillness, but your spirit does, and your quiet isn't a limitation, it's your advantage. Take a breath, feel the quiet inside you, not the silence, but the strength. And before you move on, thank you for being here, for listening, for taking this moment with me. If something in this stayed with you, a thought, a feeling, something you couldn't quite name, you can find us on Facebook, just follow the signal. And if you feel like sharing this with someone who might need to hear it too, pass it along, no pressure, just there when you need it. Next time on Human Velocity X, we're talking about why you are not too sensitive, you're tuned, a deeper dive into emotional frequency, inner resonance, and the truth behind sensitivity that the world never understood. Every day is awesome. We just have to get through it. I'll see you in episode 15.